Bottle? Yeah, sure.
Hey.
You actually did it.
That was so
You
crazy.
actually
That
did it
was
on the
one
first
try.
take.
I was gonna be like, all right.
That's amazing. All right, good morning, everybody. It is 10:01 a.m. on Friday, October 6th, and it's 54 degrees outside right now. A little bit of a kind of a cool, cold front. That's what they call it. I was going to say a cold wave, but it's a heat wave.
Little gloomy today.
It's a cold front. Me and Jon just had a very big fight about the weather debate because I like it cooler. I'm happy that it's hoodie season. I can wear my hoodies and my quarter zips and all this good stuff. He's just freezing right now.
I was content when it was 100 over the summer, so I was complaining on the way over here about just being outside in general. It's only going to get worse from here, so I don't know.
I still think it's great out right now. But anyway, this is the second episode of the WLC Sports Podcast for the new semester, and today we have another special guest with us. We got Savon. How's Savon doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, man?
Doing good. Doing good.
Great.
Happy to have you.
So Savon is here from men's football, who is coming off a nice homecoming week win. So we wanted to talk about that a little bit. I guess we can just jump right into it without a whole lot of hoopla.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got any pressing questions for him?
I mean,
you're usually the question guy. So.
Yeah, no, of course. Please, I'm always prepared with questions. You talked about it already, Jack. Like the big homecoming win, 52-20 against Rockford. So I guess my first question is like, coming off of a little bit of a tough start to the season, right? With some tough losses, how do you bounce back from that in this game? And then, what did that look like for you?
Basically, I'd say the first 4 weeks was probably our hardest 4-game stretch between top conference teams in the nation and just teams at the top of our conference. So basically, it came down to we had to just have each other. It became more of like you have to have your brothers back. And we're going to keep fighting to the end because 0-4 doesn't mean the end of the season. We still had over half our season left. And I feel like we just kind of rallied with each other, and that's what got us going more than anything, especially when we started seeing the offense putting up yards and touchdowns and the fans got hype and the drums start going. It gets to rolling after that. It's done.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm sure you guys had a pretty decent turnout, too, for the homecoming game, and just seeing people there and getting people out. And you talk about, the kind of like the brothership on the team and just like the support. What has that been like this year?
I think this year we've been doing better with having a family-oriented team. I feel like all the guys on the team, for the most part, are, you're not going to be buddy-buddy with 100-something people. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, I think everybody on the team knows we have each other back in some type of way, whether that's school, on the field, off the field, just in life. I have my brothers back. I'm my brother's keeper on the team. And I hope everybody feel the same way about me. Yeah,
for sure. That's awesome. Yeah, you have a good point. Just you have such a unique situation on the football team with so many guys, and just like you said, it's going to be impossible to be, best friends with everybody on the team. But to have that relationship and just to know that anybody on the team can look up to you for support and you can look to them. That's awesome. I do want to talk to you just about you kind of talked about when the offense starts scoring and everything, but I know that you're a defensive player, right? And so I wanted to talk about defense because I feel like sometimes in all the glamour of football and everything, I feel like people a lot of times focus on the offense. But as a defensive player, what has that been like for you? How has the defense been this year? And just
the defense, I think. This year is, as far as my 3 years being here, this is probably the best defense I've been a part of, I can honestly say.
Really?
As far as from top to bottom, defense to DBs, we have competition and talent everywhere. Now, it's a matter of it's up to us whether we showcase the talents on Saturday. It's kind of hard. We've been put in some really hard positions, but I don't blame anybody. It's a team game. It's all 4 quarters. It's a team thing. We put ourselves in a position. But we're going to come hard every week, and every team that plays us has to see us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, case in point, I looked at the NAC stats and just tackles and stuff, and you and your teammate, Layson Handwork, are leading first and second for total tackles this year so far, which is really impressive. So congrats on that, and really good work, too. I mean, it's just, you talk about, being the best defense. You said this is the best year for defense so far. That's really awesome. So looking ahead to Lakeland on Saturday, right? This Saturday. So that'll be after or before this podcast episode comes out, so you'll be able to check the scores, or hopefully you went. But looking ahead to that now, how is the team preparing for that? What do you think about Lakeland just taking them on?
So Lakeland is probably the fastest paced offense we'll play all year. We try to hurry up and get to the ball. So this week we kind of installed a new thing where we did tempo, where the defense was set up on one side of the field, run a play, and then we have to immediately run over just to make sure we're getting our wind up. And we've been running it between 6 to 8 seconds between plays, just making sure we're able to fly around. I respect Lakeland. I respect them a lot. That's all I really can say. It's a conference game. They don't like us. We don't like them. It's like one of those. But we're gonna play. I'm gonna play physical football for all 4 quarters, and that's kind of it. How I feel about it.
Yeah, for sure. No, absolutely. Yeah, so like I said, hopefully you went out Saturday, supported the guys, and then you guys have a little bit before your next home game, right? You got 2 away games.
Yes.
So 2 away games, and then the next home game is October 28th versus Benedictine. So make sure you're there if you.
Either.
Yeah, for sure. I guess before we move on to any other sports, I'm trying to think if do you have any like fun stories from the year, interesting, just like moments that you want to share with anybody? I don't want to put you on the spot.
He's thinking very carefully here because you got to be careful with the answers to these kinds of questions.
True.
Funniest moment. I don't know. It's kind of hard. I would probably say not a funniest moment, but I would say fall camp. Just being here before everybody else and kind of getting to see guys for who they are. Just like being able to hang around, don't have to worry about class. It's just strictly football, film, just bonding with, the bros, stuff like that. I don't have any too much funny moments.
I got you, yeah.
It's all business all the time.
Yeah.
Nobody ever slacks off.
I feel like I saw some like karaoke videos from that camp.
Yeah,
was that going on?
That would probably be the funniest. I mean, outside of that, I don't.
Yeah, no, but that's cool though. To like, you talk about building a brothership with your teammates, and like that's that first step, especially for some of the new guys coming in, freshmen who, getting them integrated in the team. So that's awesome. Yeah, for sure. All right, unless you have any pressing questions, Jack.
I don't have any pressing questions. I didn't wake up in a very inquisitive mood this morning,
all right.
so I'm sorry.
That's all right. We can move on to women's volleyball is the next thing that I have on our agenda. Since our last episode, they had a good win against MSOE. It was 3-2. I think it was a pretty tough match there. And they took 2 tough losses to Edgewood and Aurora this past week. So kind of like, some teams that they're playing are really tough, and they've been having a little bit of problems just because they're good teams that they're playing. But they're also able to get some wins there too, so that's been really good. They've got an interesting stat that I picked up from the NAC website for volleyball was that juniors Kylie Nabisic and Emma Incaprero are 1st and 3rd respectively in the NAC in service aces, which I feel like is kind of an interesting stat. Like you think a lot about like kills, blocks in volleyball, but like service aces, I feel like that's I don't know. I mean, maybe if you play volleyball, you think about it.
Stat, probably.
Yeah, underrated stat. Yeah. Exactly.
Someone call Adam Hines and John's taking his job.
Yeah,
stats.
I'm getting in there with all the research. I got to do it. But no, I think it's always cool just to kind of look through like the NAC page and just look like, I talked about how I found that you and Layson are like 1 and 2 in tackles, and just like finding all those stats and just being able to put like, oh, I know that person. Like it's cool to see those. It's cool to see. For women's volleyball, their next home game is against St. Norbert's on Wednesday, so 2 days after this is going up at 6 p.m. So come on out if you can be there. They've got a lot of games, I've noticed, just on their schedule. Like they're always playing throughout the week and stuff. So come on out, and it's always good to be Norbert's. Yeah. Always good.
Warriors supporting Warriors.
Warriors supporting Warriors.
Have we said that yet?
I think that's the first.
It might be. I don't know if we snuck it into the first episode.
No, I think that was our first. That was our first one of the year.
It was our first Warriors supporting Warriors.
It was just understood in the first episode.
Well, yeah,
for sure. Anything else about volleyball? Any comments or no?
Go Warriors.
Go Warriors. That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. Okay, we'll move on to cross country, both the men and the women. Last Saturday, the Saturday 2 Saturdays ago, I guess, for when you're watching this. They had the Warrior Invite where they hosted. Men hosted 16 teams, women hosted 17 teams. And a really interesting thing that I saw there was, I think a lot of the upperclassmen participated in another meet that they kind of, there was a decent amount of success in that meet as well. But for the Warrior Invite, 3 of the runners in the top 25 were freshmen on our team this year. Those being Silas Abling, Arnold Ruppnow, and Jonathan Abel. So I thought that was really cool to see like the young guys on the team, and just like it's a positive light on the future of the team, right? Because they've got some young stars that are carrying the team already, which is cool to see.
Youth movement.
Yeah, exactly. The men placed 5th out of 16 teams, which I feel like is pretty good. And the women placed 6th out of 17 teams. They didn't have like as much of like a breakout star or stat as the guys did with those 3 freshmen, but to place 6 out of 17th is still like really good. I mean, you're in the top percentage there. So
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
We will take it.
Yeah, for sure.
That sounded a little bit like degrading to our athletes. That was not meant to come off that way.
He was like, yeah.
We know what you meant.
Yeah.
It's all about the intent, even if the delivery wasn't very good.
Exactly. They've got the Gene Davis Invitational on Saturday. So again, you'll be able to check the WLC Sports page for the results. I'm not taking Heinzen's job that much, because he still writes up the recaps and for the most part. But and then their next event is at Beloit next Saturday. They've got the private college championships. So again, not necessarily a home event, but you can still, come out and support the team if you're in the area or something. All right, moving on to soccer, which we had Brooke Bloom on here last time talking us through it.
If you have not watched that episode yet, I would advise that you go watch it.
Absolutely. It was a really good episode, honestly.
We had all kinds of great discussions about soccer and water and buses and vans and
it was a good stuff. It was a good way to get back into the flow of things. I thought it was good.
But today we're all business, so
of course.
We're scooting along pretty quickly.
There's no fun. There's not allowed to have
no fun allowed this week.
Well, I can tell you that the men's soccer team did have some fun.
Ooh, nice transition. I like that.
Yeah. That's smooth.
Put a star next to that one.
I felt pretty good about it. I'm not going to lie. But no, they had some fun last night for us. Last Thursday for you, they had senior night against Lakeland, and they won 3-0. And Tony Bedoya had a hat trick, so he scored all 3 of the goals for the Warriors, which is really great. And obviously they didn't give up any goals, which is also fantastic. Keeper Puma Galvan actually leads the NAC in save average, which I believe is like saves versus amount of shots on goal. So he's been a star for, he's dog. Yeah, exactly. So he's been just a standout player for the team all, since he's been here. So cool to see those guys having some success on senior night against Lakeland. They've got Benedictine on Saturday. So again, check the scores for that one. Hopefully you came out to support. And their next home game is on Wednesday against Norbert's at 7 p.m. So if you're not watching the volleyball team beat St. Norbert's, you can watch the soccer team at our home field.
So many choices.
I know. Really, really just a lot of potential beating Norbert's going around.
We should pick a WLC sporting event for just the 2 of us to go to.
Just like as a marketing ploy?
Yeah,
or like
just meet the pod members.
I'm sure everybody's dying to we could autograph. Maybe?
Yeah. That'll really rally support.
If we go, we can make our rounds like on a Saturday. We can go football. We can go to soccer games. It's perfect.
That's actually a really good idea. Like, we're going I was thinking we just pick one, but we just like go around.
No.
Could y'all do like a live commentary if y'all want?
That would be really fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
It would be fun.
It'd be cool to like. Maybe we can get in the booth because you guys broadcast all the football games, which is really cool, by the way. Like that is, they do a really good job of just like broadcasting those, and it's cool to like. I haven't been able to make it out to a game yet, but I've been watching some of them on the live stream. It's like really cool to be able to do that.
It gets better and better every year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You've got like the like on-field cameras now, and just like even like in the huddle. That's so cool to see.
Yeah, I think any school would be happy to have something like that, but let alone private D3 school in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Like it's pretty cool.
It is. It really awesome, is for sure. But no, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll
think
stop
about
by
it.
on a
We'll
Saturday
workshop
and-
it.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
We'll run it by our overseers.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd be fine with it.
Probably. So stay tuned.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on to women's soccer, they also played Lakeland last Thursday, and they did not have as much luck against them. Lost 0-1, but they're still overall having a pretty successful year, I would say. And I mean, like we said, we talked to Brooke about it last week, so she was able to tell us a lot more about it than I'm able to sum up right now. So definitely go check that out if you haven't seen it. And she still leads the NAC in goals. I literally wrote, still leads the NAC in goals. What else is new? Because I feel like we say that every week. She's always on top of that.
Do we have like the opposite of the Sports Illustrated cover effect, like for the pod? Like you come on the pod and you do really well after that.
I think we decided that was a thing, right?
Yeah.
Because like, didn't we had like Peyton Hartman last year, and he had like a really good race or something. I don't know. So all I'm saying is on Saturday, you might get like 20 tackles or something.
It's about to pop off.
Yeah, exactly. They also have a Saturday game against Benedictine. It was senior day for them. So you've got a ton of stuff to do on Saturday and Wednesday, just coming out to support the team.
Way to tell the audience what they're supposed to do. You have stuff to do on Saturday and Wednesday.
Well, it's also after it already happened, so it's more like a hopefully you did it.
Yeah.
But, And their next game is October 18th. Their next home game, is October 18th against Aurora, and it's a pink out game, which Brooke explained to us last week was when they just put on their pink jerseys and go crazy, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if there's like a significance to it, or I'm sure there is, but I unfortunately do not know what it is. And then finally, to get into some of the last sports that we wanted to talk about, which would be tennis and golf. I always want to talk about men's tennis, but we're not technically in season, so I cut that out just to not be selfish. But we'll talk about women's tennis, actually, also on Saturday. So again, check the scores. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that because I don't know if it was on Saturday. Regardless, they had two matches this weekend against Concordia Chicago and MSOE, and those are big matches. By the time that you're watching this, you'll be able to see if they have made the playoffs, what seed they're in. We don't have that information right now. I was trying to figure out all the math for it, and there's just like too many variables.
We've already established that nobody involved with this production has remotely competent math skills.
Not in the slightest. So I looked at it for about 5 minutes and then was like, yeah, I'm just going to give up. But you'll be able to see now. So go on the NAC website, check it out. Their championships aren't until the spring. We talked about this last year. It's kind of a weird thing, but they'll be there. And their match also on their last match of the season was senior night as well. So congrats to the ladies who are seniors or who are graduating, or for some of them, I think it was their last match because they're graduating at winter. So good stuff there. And then finally, we'll talk about golf. They are also in their championships. Women's golf, as of right now, is 4th out of 9 after the first 2 rounds, and the 2 remaining rounds are also this weekend. So man, it's just a full weekend of WLC sports that you'll be able to look at the wonderful recaps on the website. The guys' championships are also split up between fall and spring. I'm still kind of confused about that from when we talked about it last year. But they have their first 2 rounds next weekend, so you can head out for those. I don't remember where they are, but you could follow along with those as they happen. And then their 3rd and 4th rounds are in the spring as well. So you'll have to stay tuned until then to find out how the men's golf team ends up their season. But there you go. I think that's all the sports that we had. We got through everything pretty quickly, actually.
This was just like John's breakout episode, I feel like, where he just got to do a lot of the talking and just motored through every sport that we needed to talk about.
It was the men's soccer, slide in from whatever we were talking about. That's where I knew that it was going to be a good episode.
Well, you peaked. It's all downhill from here.
Smooth transition.
Yeah, thank you.
Very
Appreciate
smooth.
it.
Yeah. Very smooth transition to drinking your fruit punch
That's Thursday.
Gatorade. I was telling you about this before we started, but I went to the vending machine to get my Propel before we started.
Yeah.
I thought this was the grape flavor because I could see like the kind of purplish reddish on the back, and it wasn't until after I punched in my vending machine order, I guess that's what you'd call it, that I look over and on the left side of the vending machine, that's where the actual grape ones are. So we're drinking a berry Propel, but that's okay.
That's a
Hydration is key.
Hydration is key, yeah.
Eat no matter what flavor it is.
I'm feeling very hydrated right now, so.
I was going to say that's a tragedy that you got the wrong thing, but
I mean,
hydration is key. Like
we can't always get what we want, and sometimes you just got to roll with the punches, play the cards you're dealt.
Fruit punches.
Fruit punches.
That was stupid. Cut that out.
No, well, nope, it's staying in there now. It's staying in there. If you had to pick, would you pick Propel or Gatorade?
Definitely Propel.
Okay.
Okay.
This is my kind of guy
That's
now.
fair.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I feel like Propel. I'm
gonna say Propel before the games. After the games, Gatorade.
That's fair.
Okay,
I
there
like
you go.
that. That's fair.
Yeah.
Propel is fine. I feel like sometimes the flavor is like, there's something about like the aftertaste of Propel sometimes that gets
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean? It like stays. It like is. Yeah. I don't know
I
how
get what
to.
you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know how
See.
to describe it, but you know what I mean. It's like,
Bro, I didn't even realize this. It says on the Propel bottle from the makers of Gatorade.
you didn't know that?
No.
It has a lightning bolt on it. Like,
I wasn't paying that close of attention.
it has the G.
I see that now because I'm actually looking at it, but I had no idea it was the same.
You were just living in ignorance.
I was.
And bliss, I guess. I
This
don't know.
is, my life will never be the same after finding this out.
I guess not.
All right. Well, on that note, go drink some Propel or Gatorade or both because they're made by the same people apparently.
Hydration is key. That's all you
Hydration
need to
is
know.
key. That's the message we're going to leave you on. There has to be a moral at the end of
Right, of course.
every episode. So, and it's a good moral to end on.
Of course.
So this is why we bring in nothing but the best guests because they're able to give us, little important nuggets like hydration
Yeah, exactly.
is key. Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Savon, for coming out. That
Yeah,
was
we enjoyed having you.
Yeah, great to learn
again,
about football.
stay hydrated. Go Warriors. Warriors support Warriors. And we will see you guys in a couple weeks.